Hey guys, you've asked us to do this video quite recently. So here's the X1 Carbon 7, really high-end spec with a 4K display. That's also the 4K XPS 13 with the touchscreen. Oh no, it doesn't work through my gloves. It's both 2019 models, very high-end. This is the 10th gen and that's the Whiskey Lake 8th gen. Very slightly newer processor. This is a 4-core still, it's not the 6-core model. If we just close the lid, let's take a look. X1 is actually a 14-inch laptop, but it's Lenovo's flagship protocol, so it's probably a logical comparison. Some of you obviously will say it's not like for like. XPS is a little bit smaller, it's a 13.3-inch screen. There's a total lack of ports in a traditional sense, so you've got the charging port / Thunderbolt and second Thunderbolt. So USB-C / DisplayPort and microSD audio port. That's it. On the ThinkPad you've got the docking USB 3 HDMI audio jack and the second USB 3. I mean, who would have thought that in 2020 these would be almost luxuries? If you are right-handed, you might notice some air vent coming out when you're using a mouse. The Carbon 7 comes in two different obvious flavors. So this is a carbon fiber style on the lid, so it's quite nice, stylish. Whether it ages better over time, it's hard to tell. The XPS, I think it feels a lot heavier in hand because it's both small and metallic. I think it's you'll be quite used to seeing this chassis. The 9300 is out, some refresh of the chassis. Carbon 7 and 8 are very much the similar machines. Lenovo 8 and in some regions 7 has the Comet Lake processor, the updated one, all the way up to 6 cores. There's one small thing which we notice, which is sounds solid, right? It just feels really cheap for some weird reason. That sounds metallic. I think it's done partially to the tiny rubber foot at the front. Maybe the area should be a little bit larger, but that's probably just us being picky. And this particular budget is really about that last stretch of the details. On the ThinkPad you have small things like privacy shutter, really helps. On the XPS you finally have the webcam which is not at the bottom, which stares at your chin. X1 Carbon 7 has an upward firing speaker. It's quite an improvement over the 6th gen. Of course the XPS 13 speaker was already decent, perhaps not upwards firing. Press down more heavily, you know, it's never too noisy and the feedback is always there. Noise doesn't translate into the table. On the XPS with aim press, you can hear the table resonating, which is a strange one. You can also see some flex on the keyboard. ThinkPad keyboard is always known to be very good. Trackpad, probably say similar size for this generation. It's really clicky. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this. Obviously you can tap to click, but it's really noticeable, whereas with the X1 it's just really silent, really nice. For the click button you wish it were more noisy, less. It's I think better experience overall. Also the track point, if you like that, that's you know, helpful. In terms of the spec, both units, Core i7 16GB 512, decent spec. Lenovo seem to have skipped the Ice Lake generation of Intel processors, for now at least. So using 8th gen or 10th gen Comet Lake, depending on 7th or 8th gen X1, whichever one you get. Not much difference, except that the Comet Lake gives you up to 6 cores. This is Comet Lake 10th gen, as you can see here. It goes up to 6 cores, but we've only got 4 here. We suspect that maybe it might not be the best way to spend money to get those extra cores. Maybe just either save it or get an i5, something similar, because imagine having to dissipate all the extra heat of the 6 cores. I mean, that's a lot. It's interesting Lenovo has not chosen the Ice Lake generation. It might be that they just skip to the next generation, or it might be that there's a later refresh this year. Since the 7th and 8th gen X1 are so similar, you very much get a sense that Lenovo is preparing for the 2021 chassis refresh. What's absent in both the picture, of course, is any of the AMD option. It seems Intel is much a stronghold in terms of the high-end products. Hopefully over time you see more of the AMD options. Performance-wise, you're going to be seeing quite similar pictures if you go for the 4-core options. Let's say compare 7th gen Carbon versus Comet Lake. Obviously the Comet Lake would run a little bit faster, but very much marginal. If you do go with the 6 cores, it might be the temperature would be maybe 3 to 5 degrees looking at the reviews online, because I think this chassis is probably more built with 4 cores in mind, and of course over time you see the processor core counts increases, and that increases the heat as well. We'll probably not talk that much about the battery life between these two, because I think there's plenty of reviews out there already. I think we'll take a look at the display. This is a 4K touch version, the highest end one, and that's the Dolby HDR display. I would say this one, looking at some reviews, seems to be probably around 100 nits brighter, so it's advertised mostly as a 500 nits panel. And the 4K panel on this one is typically advertised and also comes in at around 400 nits, so less bright. Sometimes the Dell may lose a little bit more brightness when it's on the battery. But keep in mind, it's a touch screen, so the valid comparison, if you really need a touch screen, is this versus the X1 Yoga, and that one bends backwards. And if you go to that point, then perhaps the XPS 2-in-1 versus Yoga is better comparison. That's a long conversation. Focusing back on this, the displays, they're both a little bit glossy. You can just see the keyboard reflection in both units. They're quite noticeable. It's raining today, so perhaps in the future for us to look at the reflection in a different video. We're both at 200 dpi. The screen is a noticeable amount brighter on the Lenovo on the left. If we and also the color is a little bit warmer. If we go to the next photo, as you can see, screen definitely is brighter on the Lenovo. The color is also a little bit more vibrant. Whereas Lenovo has rendered some of the white as some more nuanced color. The Dell is a little bit more simple it's more white on white. You also have a few more options in the Lenovo display optimizer. We've used the Photo Pro to give a more realistic looking photo. With the Dell, on some of the XPS, you have the Premiere color software, mostly on the 15-inch. As you can see, there's some subtle differences, and Movie Pro, this is a really saturated one. Looking at the fireplace video, you can see just how much more vibrant the Dolby HDR display is. And if you just look at the fire, I'm not sure how much, I mean, you're looking at this on the screen. It's just so much more realistic, I think, on the Lenovo. The screen size is just marginally larger, but I think from the details and also some of the lights that fly away from the flame, I think it's just, you can see so much more detail. Which is a little bit strange because they're both the same resolution. It's I think goes back to sometimes having just that marginally brighter panel. In summary, I think the X1 Carbon is not Apple versus Orange the same as XPS 13. It's more tailored to ThinkPad users who really likes good display, really values productivity, and something portable. I would say personally, the display on the X1 Carbon is just that tiny bit better, and you have more options to tune it precisely the way you like it. What is something to think about is we see quite a lot use Carbons, and sometimes you see the keyboard marks on the screen appearing over time. So do have a think on how you can possibly reduce that, because I think in time that might get to annoy you, whether it's putting a screen protector. Whereas conversely speaking, the XPS has a glass-based screen, so if you do drop it, it might smash. So it's that's something to think about. We hope this brief hands-on clip has been useful. We're not trying to reinvent the wheels with benchmarks and that sort of thing. You can always hop on to notebook checks to get more detailed insights. We just want to give you a better what it's actually like to use, how they sort of compare side by side. We hope this is helpful, and drop us a comment if there's any question.